Coming up, we talk Thursday at Volusia, the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic Down Under, Night 1 out in Vegas, and another non-wing driver headed to the wing side. Let's go. Today is Friday, January 21st, 2022. Welcome into Dirt Tracker Daily. I'm Justin Fiedler. Well, I thought we'd be opening the show today with a full rundown on last night's racing at Volusia for the World of Outlaws, but things didn't quite go to plan down in Florida last night. They got almost 50 super late models, around 40 602 late models, and north of 80 604 late models, which I think was a lot more than the event and the staff there was expecting. In turn, the night's program started later than it probably should have, especially when the schedule included hot laps and qualifying for all cars. Add in some tough track conditions and some track work to try and save it, and you're left with a racing program that has been postponed until this afternoon. We got through heat races and B mains for all three divisions, so gates will open at 2:30 p.m. Eastern time today, and they will run the three features starting at 3. From there, they will then start into Friday's action. I did not stay up that late to watch it, but it looks like the plug was finally pulled around 1:30 a.m. Eastern. Certainly a brutal way to start the season and a tough situation to be in for the fans and the competitors. But these events don't always go like the organizers think they will. Having more cars than you thought is a good problem, but it isn't easy sometimes to keep these tracks together. I know on social media, and I'm sure at the track, officials were getting blasted, and I'm certainly not going to judge anyone for being upset. But remember that nobody on either side wants these situations to play out like this. I'm sure things will run much smoother through the weekend and when they come back for Dirt Car Nationals in a few weeks. In qualifying for the Outlaws, Devin Moran and Kyle Hammer were the two group fast timers. Dale McDowell, Chris Madden, Moran, and Brandon Shepard were the 4 heat race winners. Hudson O'Neill and Cade Dillard grabbed the 2 B main wins. And for the feature this afternoon, McDowell will lead the field to green from the pole after the redraw with Moran to his outside. Madden, Shepard, Dennis Erb Jr., Kyle Strickler, Josh Richards, Ricky Thornton Jr., Ryan Gustin, and Shane Clanton are the rest of your top 10 starters. Kyle Larson starts 11th. Once today's afternoon racing is complete, I'll throw the results in the database and then re-rack the prediction formula so we can make Friday night picks. I'll do the same for Saturday and record the choices so you guys can laugh at me on Monday for how bad my picks were. As for the full-time outlaw drivers, the group that will chase the championship became very clear yesterday, and by the time the program got underway, we had 16 drivers that are going to start the season as full-time outlaws. It was almost hard to keep up with all the tweets coming out in the afternoon yesterday. I talked on the show on Thursday about Max Blair, Kyle Hammer, Gordy Gundaker, Tanner English, Jacob Ulrich, Josh Richards, Boom Briggs, and Brandon Shepard as full-time guys. Those 8 are being joined by Brent Larson, Dennis Erb Jr., Chris Madden, Ryan Gustin, and Tyler Bruning. All of those guys are returning to the series after being regulars last year. We've also added 3 more drivers in Chris Simpson, who will be a rookie, and past Outlaw regulars Shane Clanton and Morgan Bagley. So all of a sudden, we have a stacked field to kick off 2022. Shepard is still the guy to beat here, but the group filled out pretty nicely. We'll see who sticks through the whole year, but if you're series director Casey Schumann right now, I think you have to be pretty happy with that group of full-time drivers. If you want to tune in today, all of the action will again be live on Dirt Vision. Down to Australia, I had planned on doing a preview today for the Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic, but because I'm stupid and clearly don't understand the time difference, it wasn't in my brain that overnight Thursday into Friday was the first night of racing. So I should have done the preview on yesterday's show, and now here I am on this Friday with the first night of racing already complete. If you don't know, this race weekend is like the Australian version of the Knoxville Nationals. It's a really big deal. Friday and Saturday shows are basically prelim nights with racing culminating on Sunday. They're in the neighborhood of 80 cars for the weekend, and the field is absolutely stacked. The Friday group included Jamie Veal, Ian Madsen, Lachlan McHugh, Matthew Dumsney, and Carson Macedo, all names that all of us American fans will recognize. And the Saturday field includes Robbie Farr, James McFadden, Jock Goodyear, and Marcus Dumsney. Very early this morning, it was Lachlan McHugh who grabbed the opening night win. Ian Madsen finished second, Corey McCullough was third, Carson Macedo fourth, and Jamie Veal completed the top 5. McHugh picked up 10 grand and the all-important points headed into Sunday. If you want to tune in through the weekend, Dirt Vision has live coverage and you can watch with your FastPass. The racing programs both days will start around 1 a.m. Eastern time here in the States. So if you want to watch them, you're going to either have to stay up or get up early. If you'd like to keep up all weekend too, make sure you're following at SunGold Stadium on Twitter. They had a ton of updates all night long from the racetrack. Out at the dirt track at Las Vegas last night, the Las Vegas Dirt Nationals got underway for the first of 3 nights. The event is being headlined by the Bandits Outlaws Sprint Series. And in that 20-lap feature, it was Chase Randall picking up the win over Garen Linder and Jeremy McCune. Randall took the lead from Garrett Williamson just past halfway and held on to the end. Williamson finished 9th after cutting down a right rear tire. The field of sprint cars was light and only 13 were in the feature last night. I'm a little surprised that more of the ASCS guys and maybe California guys didn't get involved this weekend, especially with not much else going on right now and the engine rules kind of being completely open. In the open modified division, US MTS regular and multi-time champion Rodney Sanders topped flying Brian Ruhlman. The event continues tonight and Saturday, and you can watch it live over on XR+. The non-wing world has already lost Tyler Courtney, Kevin Thomas Jr., and Chris Windham to the wing side, and now we've got yet another name headed that direction. Fresh off that Chili Bowl win last weekend, Tanner Thorson talked earlier in the week on the Loud Pedal podcast with Dylan Welch and Tyler Burnett about possibly doing some wing racing in 2022. He mentioned starting the year at Bubba Raceway Park with USAC in the midget and sprint car, but then also hitting up East Bay for some winged racing, and then kind of trying to figure things out from there. But yesterday, a release from the World of Outlaws points to much more winged racing than that. Thorson and his reinbold-underwood team are planning to run something like 50 races with the Outlaws this year, and then depending on how it goes, possibly looking at going full-time in 2023. That's a dramatic change from earlier in the week, and Thorson talking about a wing schedule to more than half the Outlaws slate. According to Brian Walker, Thorson has made 23 appearances with the Outlaws in his career. His best finish of second, which came at Chico back in 2015. He drove up from 13th that night and got beat just by Donnie Schatz. But his wing starts have been light in recent years. He had no Outlaw appearances in 2020 and only one in 2021. He finished 16th at Lawrenceburg in May. He made 1 All-Star start in 2020, a B-main finish at Lincoln, and then ran 4 All-Star races in 2021, 2 nights at Circle City, plus shows at Gas City and Kokomo. His best finish was a 12th place result. As a team, though, reinbold-underwood Motorsports found success with the wing on early in 2021, grabbing wins at Arizona Speedway for the Wild Wing Shootout with Buddy Kofoid in the car. Thorson also has an incredible resource to lean on as he moves forward, as Sprint Car Hall of Famer Stevie Smith is his future father-in-law. With Thorson's style and attitude, I think this is a great addition to the winged ranks, and hopefully they can get it worked out to go full-time in 2023. It'd be really fun to watch out on the road all season long. But if you're a non-wing fan, this recent migration has to sting. Of the 8 drivers with the most USAC sprint car wins in the last 2 years, 4 of them are now going winged racing. And the numbers are similar on the midget side. 3 of the top 5 in USAC midget victories are all now gone. There's still plenty of talent with guys like Justin Grant, Brady Bacon, Buddy Kofoid, Emerson Axum, CJ Leary, and Logan Seavey sticking around. But these are tough losses. I definitely think there's some work to do if you're on that side of the sport. There are 7 shows on the streaming schedule today and plenty of dirt racing to come this weekend. Dirt Vision has the Sunshine Nationals and Grand Annual Sprint Car Classic continuing through Saturday. Flow Racing has the Winter Nationals from East Bay and Super Stocks from Paradise Valley in New Zealand, plus Flow 24/7. Speed Sport TV has IMCA Racing from Central Arizona Speedway, and XR Plus has more nights of the Las Vegas Dirt Nationals. To see the full daily streaming schedule through the weekend with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. That's it for the show today. Hope you have a good Friday and a good weekend. If you have thoughts about the topics on today's show, please leave them in the comments below or tweet at me. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you back on Monday for more Dirt Tracker Daily.